Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Tiffany from McDonough Public Library here again with a video just for you. This video is going to be all about mermaids, but if you're not into mermaids, that's okay. I will be doing other topics too, but this one is about mermaids. So if you are interested, then stick around because we are going to be talking about some books that we have here in our McDonough Public Library all about those wonderful creatures. So first up, the reason why I decided to do mermaids was we received a How to Catch a Mermaid by Adam Wallace and Andy Elkerton. Recently, I did a video about how to catch unicorns, so if you like unicorns, check out that other video. But this one's about mermaids, so let's see what we have here. On the back, it says, how do you catch a mermaid? You must use your imagination. Get creative, smart, and clever to make the right creation. So just like the other how to catch books that these guys write, it will teach you how to capture a mermaid by using your brains and making a creation to trap them in. Now, do we want to keep them forever? No. But something really neat, while you have your mermaid, you can ask them some really cool questions if you read The Very Short, Entirely True History of Mermaids by Sarah Lasco. Inside, it is a very short book, but if you want to learn about mermaids, it is in our 398 section. That's where fairy tales, folk tales, legends, and lore are. And inside of this book, it'll tell you some quick facts about mermaids that maybe you can chat up your mermaid and find out their personal history and how it goes with this book. But if you are more interested in some picture books, have I got some amazing ones for you. First up, we have Aqualicious by Victoria Kahn. You might recognize this character here. She is a reoccurring character in a whole series, but in Aqualicious, she meets a little mermaid, and they have an entirely wonderfully fun adventure together. And you can check this out, or you can meet another character that is very familiar to all of our readers out there, Fancy Nancy and the Mermaid Ballet. In this book, Jane O'Connor and Robin Glasser have Fancy Nancy in a mermaid ballet where she and her friends get together and practice for their upcoming ballet recital that they are so excited about. We do have another book about a character dressing up as a mermaid, but it's checked out right now. It is called Julian Is a Mermaid, and in it, it is about a boy who sees some beautiful ladies all dressed up as mermaids, and he wonders what it'll be like to be a mermaid. If you are interested in that book, I recommend checking it out because it is a nominee for the Georgia Children's Book Awards. And starting in January, you can vote on which one of those books are your favorite. There are 20 picture books total, and Julian and His Mermaid is one of those 20. But let's go to the more traditional Little Mermaid stories. We actually have, let's see here, I have two that are retellings of the Little Mermaid. But if you are more interested in the retellings of the traditional Little Mermaid, we have two very different ones here that are both fascinating in their own way. The first one is The Little Mermaid, or La Sirenita. It is an adaptation illustrated by Max, and the adaptation is by Oriol Izquierdo. It is a bilingual story. That means it's in two languages. So it'll have English on the top, right here, and then it has Spanish on the bottom right there. And it is the story of the Little Mermaid, but it is different than the Disney version that you might know or the traditional version you might have read. So I highly recommend you checking this one out and finding out how it's different. Or you may have seen this book in another one of my videos. I did a featured video about Jerry Pinkney because he's an author-illustrator who writes wonderful stories and illustrates the most beautiful pictures. And this is his new book, The Little Mermaid. It, like the previous book, The Little Mermaid, that was our bilingual book, is a retelling or an adaptation. And inside his illustrations, just as the ocean floor and everything that comes through, really brings the story to life. If you want to learn about more of his works, then check out my video just about him. Okay, and then we have 3 stories that just feature mermaids, and they are all very different but beautiful and fantastic. First, we have an author you might be familiar with as well, author-illustrator Jan Brett. She has a story about a curious little mermaid. And one thing that I love about Jan Brett's work is she always has a hint in her pictures of what came before and what might be coming up next, what you can look out for. Not to mention all this vivacious color. Look at how beautiful it is. And then we have the story Pearl by Molly Idle, and it is about a small little mermaid and what kind of difference she can make in the world. It's a very sweet, moving story, and it's about a mermaid, so I highly recommend you check it out. And the last mermaid picture book that I have is Suki and the Mermaid by Robert D. Sansuki, illustrated by Brian Pinkney. Now earlier I said Jerry Pinkney. That's actually Brian's dad. So can you see the art illustration? It's very different but also beautiful. But anyway, Suki and the Mermaid is about Suki, who something kind of sad's going on, so she goes to spend some time by herself, and she meets a wonderful mermaid. Her name is, where did it go? Mama Jo. And with the help of Mama Jo, she learns that her wishes are answered by goodness and love. Not only mermaid magic and the ocean, but goodness and love can bring good things too. But you have to read the whole tale. It is very moving. Highly recommend. And my very last book that I have for you is not a story. This is for our artsy people out there because I keep going on and on and on about the illustrations of all these beautiful stories. We have a Drawing Fairies, Mermaids, and Unicorns by Jorge Stantellian and Sarah Easton. So inside it will teach you how to draw these wonderful, fascinating creatures, and maybe one day you can be an illustrator featured in a video talking about picture books. But before we get there, if you saw anything that you liked in this video, be sure to go to our Pines catalog, log in, put it on hold, and it can be yours for 2 weeks at a time. Hopefully we will see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.